Well, many thanks to Nicolene. All right, author and motivational speaker Scelo Mncube has put together a book that outlines his life story and painful past that he was titled, I Was Raped and You Were Born. It's a very, very touching book. Now, in this book, he takes us through an agonizing reminder of when his mother was raped and he was conceived as a result. Now, he also touches on a trail of emotional scars that he had to deal with throughout his life. And he joins us now from our Durban studios to tell us more about his story. A very good morning to you, Scelo. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome to Morning Live.
Morning, sir. How are you this morning?
Well, I'm very, very well. Why did you decide to document such and publish such a very sensitive and painful part of your story?
I came to a point whereby I've realized that women were abducted, you know, and I felt the pain when they came with something that called hashtag men are trash. And I said to myself, because I have a story that is painful, because my mother has been abused while she was alive, and I became the result of the abuse, you know. So I said to myself, let me write a story whereby women will realize that we all feel the pain that they have, you know. So what I'm trying to say is that I realized that I need to fill the gap and just come out and speak about the pain we men, because they are the men that carries the same pain that women go through, especially when it comes to rape, because Scelo Mncube is the product of rape. So I decided to write about this book so that I can heal a lot of people in South Africa who have been abused.
Now, Scelo, as I was flipping through the very first chapter, I could get a sense of the hardship that you went through, from living a nomadic life to living at a filling station and sleeping in a taxi for 6 months, and then discovering the truth in the manner that you did, and discovering that you were actually, and I hate using this phrase, but you were a product of a rape. You didn't see that coming, did you?
No, in fact, I didn't see that coming, because you know what happened? My mother died 2006, and 2008, the principal of the school where I was attending said to me, Scelo, you've been attending this school without paying your school fees. So we're approaching exams, and you cannot go and write your exams if you don't pay your school fees. Go home and provide something that will be evident that your mother is you're an orphan. So I go back home. When I went back home, I went through my mother's documents. I looked for maybe a death certificate. But while I was looking, an envelope fell down, and I picked it up. When I picked it up, the envelope was written in bold that I was raped and you were born. And tears fell down when I read that phrase. But something said to me, Scelo, why are you crying? And something said to me, I'm crying because I've got answers of the question that I've never asked my mother while she was alive. I remember I used to ask my mother one question. I used to ask my mother, Mom, who is my father? And my mother will say, your father is Jesus. But when I picked the envelope up, something said to me, maybe this is the reason my mother failed to answer me. So I opened the envelope, I got the letter. And the letter was saying, my son, if you find this letter, I believe that you find it in the right time, just to give you your emotional freedom. The reason I failed to answer you every time you asked me who was your father, it's because I didn't know what to say to you, because I was raped and you were born. And on the letter, there was this part that I tried to abort you on the 8th month, but I failed. As a result, you came out with your legs. Number 3, the surname Mncube that you are using is not your surname, as well as is not my surname. It's my stepfather's surname. I don't know my surname, as well as I don't know your surname. So that was the painful part of my life, 2008, where I got the letter that nearly killed me. And I took the letter to one of the family members. And as a result, she insulted me, and I became the worst enemy, because I found out later that also she didn't know her identity. So on our family, we had a problem of identity.
All right, now, Scelo, what you went through is certainly nothing any human being should ever go through. But then thank you so much for chatting to us this morning, and well done on your book. Very, very touching book there. That's author and motivational speaker Scelo Mncube, and he's speaking to us about his latest book titled, I Was Raped and You Were Born. Now, this read gives us an insight into life story and painful past. All right.